Mark Holden, 275 Soundview Avenue. When we had our public information night a couple of weeks ago, one of our parents mentioned he feels an us and them mentality exists between the city and the Board of Education. Thank you. It's something I've been thinking about for a very long time, actually since before I ran for the Board of Education. It's a very common problem in Connecticut because of the process Connecticut uses to fund education. But the reality is, it doesn't have to be that way in Shelton. You have a Board of Education that strives to deliver excellent results at a rock-bottom cost. The complaints I hear from the mayor and aldermen about the Board of Education budget requests generally fall into two categories: complaints based on inaccurate information and complaints based on incomplete information, leading to an incorrect conclusion. That Board of Ed, they ask for increases of 4 to 5% every year, and you know inflation isn't that high. And that's true. But we don't get funded at a 4 to 5% increase every year. Some years, we haven't had any increase at all. Some years, the increase we've been granted has been well below the rate of inflation. In spite of what the rate of inflation is, our actual costs are always affected by new unfunded mandates and the increasing percentage of students who are deemed to need special education. Over, I believe it was the last 4 years, our special ed population has grown by about 24%. Some of these students, if they need an out-of-district placement, that can cost $100,000 for one student. Since 2005, the city's budget on their side has grown by 40%. The Board of Education budget has grown by 24%, or 40% for the city, 24% for the Board of Ed. So your budget has grown much faster than ours. Now it's also time to stop complaining about the bonus we give our superintendent, because the first year I was on this board, we decided that Freeman had proven himself to be a reliable performer and removed the performance incentive from his contract. Nobody has gotten a bonus from the Board of Education in 4 years. Our monthly budget runs are published on the city website. Our check registers are available at our central office. You can look at them, and I wish you would before you complain about how we waste taxpayer dollars. The reality is we are very careful with taxpayer dollars. If we weren't, we wouldn't be able to outperform most districts in the state. When we are currently funded at $2,700 per student less than the average district in the state. If we wanted to be funded at the average cost per pupil in the state, we'd be asking you for an increase of $13 million this year. We're not. Frankly, the budget process would be much less stressful for everyone if we had a collaborative effort, especially at the beginning of the budget process, so everyone understood what everyone's needs and goals were before numbers started getting discussed. There's a lot of talk about the mayor and the superintendent need to work things out between them to reach an agreement. The reality is, our superintendent hasn't met with the mayor to discuss the budget since the end of March. We hope he'll be having his first meeting since then on the 18th. It's time for us to start respecting each other. You want to do the very best that you can for the taxpayers. We want to do the very best we can for the students. Both are laudable goals. If we start trusting each other, we can do a better job of accomplishing our goals. I've reviewed the city budget. The fact that you're looking at reducing the fund balance by $2 million next year to hold the line on taxes tells me you really don't have a lot of places to go to provide help to us. But I'm asking you to look for and find what you can, because it will allow us to reduce or eliminate layoffs. The state plans to increase our allocation from the Education Cost Sharing Grant by a little over $248,000. Frankly, I'm not sure where they're going to find the money for that. They don't really seem to have a surplus of money, but the indication is they plan to do it anyway. If they do, that's revenue that was not factored into the mayor's proposed budget. And it would be very easy for you to turn that money over to, in addition to the Board of Ed side, and it would reduce our expected layoff count by about 5 teachers and get us a little bit closer to being able to make ends meet next year. The city and Board of Education have worked together on many projects over the years, and every time we do, everybody, taxpayers and students, wins. It's important to learn from what happened in the past, but what's more important is to do what we can to make tomorrow and the next day better for everyone. Thank you.